Good evening, it's 5 o'clock and I'll call the public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the items listed under the closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each item. Ms. Lozando?
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included on this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, I close the public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the close of closed session. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is 6:35 p.m. and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I want to welcome the media and everyone joining us in person and by Zoom. We ask those joining us this evening to place their silence, their electronic devices not linked to this meeting. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and staff, members of the public, and all of our fans in Zoom land. I'd like to remind us all of our vision and our mission. Our vision states that Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the nature of the work this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 3, roll call. Mrs. Zondo, would you please call roll?
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez.
Yes.
Trustee Duque Martinez.
Here.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Dybert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
And President Seibert.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Zondo. Trustee Ahmad, would you please lead us in a flag salute?
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic of the nation.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Ahmad. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Pastor Jake Beckman of Grace Community Church in Madera. I invite Pastor Beckman to come to the podium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please bow your heads and pray with me? Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us here safely. And Lord, I'd like to take the time to lift up this board. Father, would you be with them as they discuss important matters related to the students and their well-being and how they grow in knowledge and in virtue before you. Lord, I ask that you would continue to give them wisdom, continue to give them discernment, help them to lead as unto you. Father, I pray for the safety over all the students here in our city. Lord, I'd like to lift up Madera. Father, may it be a place where you are known. And I also would like to lift up California. Father, may we always remember who you are and what you have done. And finally, I'd like to lift up our nation, that we would once again be one nation under God. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Beckman. Item number 4, closed session reportable items. Actions, Superintendent Lyle.
We have no reportable actions this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Adoption of the agenda, Ms. Elizondo.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda.
Superintendent Lyle, does the staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
Not this evening, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. The trustees, do you have items you want to add or delete from the agenda? Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented? Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move to approve the agenda as so stated.
Trustee Dybert, I second that motion.
Been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Dybert to adopt the agenda as presented. Mrs. Elizondo, would you please poll the board for the record?
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
trustee Duca Martinez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Elizondo. Item number 6, communications. Item number 6A, student and staff recognition. Item 6A1, recognize the California League of Educators 2025 Elementary School State Educator of the Year. Shauna
Trojan.
Patricia, Ninja School, Superintendent Lyle.
So I would ask Ms. Falk, would you please join us at the podium? I'm gonna preface this moment to say that there were just a few of us that were lucky and were in the room at Fort Washington when Ms. Petrosian got the opportunity to represent our region at the state level with the California League of Schools. And her speech, her presentation was incredibly genuine. It meant an awful lot to her and to everyone in the room. And it was pretty clear that if she was top 3 clearly, and like that was without question. And I felt like number 1, but I'm also a hometowner. So she's a hometown kid and I was with her 100%. And her family was there and Ms. Falk was there who got to nominate her. I have a feeling Ms. Falk would like to press the button. There you go. And share with all of us why she nominated Ms. Petrosian and how it felt to be in the room that day. And then one more time.
All right, so thank you very much. Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the board. Nominating exceptional teachers is a job that comes really easy when you work at a place like Nishimoto. But Ms. Petrosian really, truly has a gift for supporting not only early literacy in her role as a first grade teacher, but also critical thinking and math. As a principal, it's extremely exciting when you go into a class that's filled with 6-year-olds that are just always excited. It's not always a quiet classroom to visit, but the talking and the conversations and the ideas that are coming from these really tiny little people are amazing. And they're always asking, Ms. Petrosian, give us something harder. Like, that's not a challenge. We want to do something harder. And so I got the pleasure of testing some of her kids this year on NWEA. And you see these first grade students taking their math tests that are getting problems that are involving division, multiplication, area, perimeter. It's pretty exceptional. So she's got a lot of skills. I'm fortunate enough to have been a part of her journey, being like I was with you and Clovis too. And I thought she had won also. But
Oh,
I'm
good.
pretty sure that I maybe jumped out of my seat higher than she actually did. Not only when we were in Clovis, but also when we went to the state competition in Monterey, because there really is just no one I can think of that is more deserving. So Shauna Petrosian.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Ms. Falk for nominating me. And I was very proud to represent Madera Unified. I grew up here. My parents were teachers here. So I am a hometown gal. And so I've been with the district 30 years now. And it's been a pleasure to serve our community. And yeah, it makes me proud that I was able to say, hey, our little district here that, to represent us, and especially Nishimoto. I've been there since they opened, and it is an amazing place to be. And I'm very fortunate to be there. And I recently had a little bit of a health scare, and my team and my colleagues all came rallied around me, and cards and notes and flowers and gifts and lesson plans and visits from my principal and the hospital. And it just, warms my heart to feel such a part of Nishimoto as a community and Madera Unified. So thank you very much. I'm honored to represent Madera.
Got evidence.
So Shauna, let's be honest here. You're a Coyote graduate. Before that, you were where?
I'm sorry, say it
You were a Coyote graduate. And before that, when you were a kid, a little bit younger, where were you?
I was at Howard Elementary from kindergarten through 8th grade, and on to Madera High and Fresno State and back to Madera. Yeah.
And you've been here since 1995
Yes.
in one school or another, but at Nish for a really long time now since it
Yes.
opened.
Since we opened.
And there's been a lot of change, and you've been a part of that. And Erin, Ms. Falk has been really clear behind the scenes. Every time we talk to her, she just is so proud of the staff at Nishimoto and the professionalism, the care, the compassion that the teachers come to work with every single day. And she really felt like you were the embodiment of that. As she said, it's kind of easy to be to look out and see student champions all across the school. The hard part was selecting which one she was going to nominate. And I think she was really proud. I mean, she and I talked in the parking lot. It was way too cold. So try not to do that to me again, Ms. Falk. That'd be great. But she was incredibly proud of the work that you do. And she was very specific in multiple examples. And she's trying to keep it brief here, but there is no brevity to her knowledge and I think passion for the staff at Nishimoto and the work that they do. That was really, really clear out in the cold at Fort Washington. And we're really very, very proud of the work you've done and the honor that you brought back to all of us. We all just get a tiny glint of that honor, whether we've earned it or not, because you did. So thank you so much on behalf of us. It means a great deal to our community to know that such good people are at every single school site. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words.
Thank you again. Don't go anywhere, Ms. Falk. This is where my problem becomes your problem. Just so the board knows, recently, the staff at Nishimoto had to go through a very rigorous process over 3 years to develop a very professional, collaborative culture around professional learning communities and all the evidence of their effectiveness. It's not been easy to do. And you all were very supportive and gracious about the opportunity for the intensive assistance model when it was presented to us as an option. It's a very expensive option because we went with 3 schools. The 3rd school we went with was Nishimoto. And that was a decision that this board made. We had the opportunity to apply for 2 schools that would be grant funded. So there'd be some split funding there. The state of California would pick up half, and we would pick up half over the course of 3 years. But we wanted our executive cabinet wanted a third school because we wanted a school in each pyramid. And Mr. Rodriguez made the decision, and I thought it was a really smart decision at the time. And I understood his thinking because he shared a lot of really complimentary anecdotes about the staff at Nishimoto, the work that they were doing, and it was building momentum. He could feel that, and he knew that Ms. Falk and her team were making some really important progress. So he lobbied for Nishimoto to be that third school. You said yes. You didn't have to, but you did, and you made a big difference. So at the end of that gamble, something really special happened, and they became a Solution Tree model school. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are 58 in the state of California, and there are about 10,000 schools in California. So there's 1,300 districts, 10,600 schools. Less than 60 of them have this designation, but Nishimoto does. So I would like to introduce Ms. Erin Falk and her teacher leaders who helped lead this charge and create this momentum for our district to help us all be the lighthouse, right? And so that we all become just a little bit more professional, a little bit more collaborative, and with different kinds of conditions, we can work toward different kinds of outcomes than we've had in the past. Nishimoto is leading the way. Ms. Falk?
Wait a minute, so this is item number 682.
There it is, yeah.
Like a 2-for-1 today. And I think I want to go on record that I think that's the first time Superintendent Lyle has accused me of talking too much
Yeah.
out at Fort Washington. But
It
again,
was cold.
again, President Seibert, Clark Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the board. Hey, you guys have to come up here too. Like, you
Please.
can stand with me because this was not something that was done by myself or even done by just the people in this room. This was truly a collaborative effort led by our teams of teachers. And I was just kind of lucky enough to be the one that was the captain of the ship at the time. But all of our teachers really embraced this work. It was a lot of work. None of them would say that it's easy. And I think none of them would say that we're done. This lady to my far right, our first grade team lead, Angela Trong, I think her first reaction when I told this team that we had gotten this award was, well, are there like higher layers? Is there like a bronze and silver and then platinum level? Because we need to go for like the next one. So there's a little bit of competitive spirit on our team. But like I said, this was the work of all of my teachers, but especially these people standing behind me and beside me, because they were the ones who actually led the work with their teacher teams and made sure that they were holding each other mutually accountable to be responsible for student learning. So this honor really belongs to them. I'd like to introduce all of them. So I have my first grade team lead, Angela Trong, our vice principal, Katie De Leon, kindergarten team lead, Maggie Stickler, our SPED team lead, Robert Ziwi. Right behind me, over my left shoulder, our 6th grade team lead, Miguel Gonzalez, 3rd grade team lead, Cindy Ragsdale, 4th grade team lead, Cindy Flores, and our 5th grade team lead, Trisha Molina. Our 2nd grade team lead wanted to be here. She had a family obligation. She needed to attend tonight, but I am extremely, extremely proud of these people I'm standing with, and I'm extremely, extremely proud of our teacher teams and our students for the work they've done.
Well, you're not you're not totally off the hook just yet, because I think it's really important that you explain to the board Ms. Well, I mean, or Ms. Falk or designee, Ms. Falk or designee, right? Other duties as assigned. Explain to the board, if you would, just briefly, the level of evidence that you had to produce and how rigorous it actually was to produce it.
So the first thing that we had to show evidence of was student achievement growth over multiple student groups. So that included, we had 3 years of consistent growth in both math and ELA in kindergarten through 4th grade. So all those cohorts showed growth year over year for 3 years. And then we also had to show significant growth within at least one of our subgroups, which was represented by 3 years of growth by our English learner population. So we had to do that. And then we had to submit evidence of a significant number of actual artifacts of the work that these people were doing. So PDFs of some of the units they've created, the plans they've done, the work that they've done in understanding standards, evidence of strong collaboration. So it was quite a process to get it all together and then wait for it to be reviewed. And we were really, really excited to get the news back and be the first Madera Unified School to achieve this. And from what it sounds like from some of my colleagues, I don't think we'll be the last. So it's very exciting.
I'd like to read something in the record while you're all here. Dear Superintendent Lyle, on behalf of the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Madera Unified School District on the remarkable achievement of Nishimoto Elementary. Being recognized as a model school is a testament to the dedication, innovation, and unwavering commitment of your educators, staff, and leadership team. The accomplishment not only highlights the incredible work happening within Nishimoto Elementary, but also serves as an inspiration for our schools across the district and beyond. That's very true. That's something we'll all be discussing. Your leadership continues to set high standards for excellence, ensuring that every student in Madera Unified has access to quality education they deserve. Education California is stronger because of the efforts of districts like Madera. Thank you for your dedication to student success, and for being a shining example of what is possible with vision, collaboration, and perseverance at Nishimoto Elementary. We look forward to continuing our partnership in supporting educational excellence across the state of California. With appreciation, Matt Navo, Executive Director. That's on behalf of Mr. Navo to all of you, to be read into the record tonight so that this board and this community understands the quality of the Nishimoto teacher leaders and the work that they're doing on behalf of the students at our school. Very, very proud of all that you guys have accomplished. Thank you so much for showing us the way forward, for being part of the solution. We're going to be so much better as a learning organization because of the learning that you have done. And hopefully you'll learn it even better when you have to teach it to your colleagues. So congratulations. We're very, very proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustees, anything? I don't want to monopolize.
I do. I want to say, Mrs. Falk. Yes. And Mrs. Falk, I've known her since before, I don't know, you know, Robert might knew, because we worked together at Alpha School. But I just want to say, I'm very proud of you. I've seen you grown in the district since before you were a teacher. Remember, we hired you at Alpha School and.
I believe you were on the interview panel.
Yes, yes. I didn't want to say that, you know, I didn't know if that was confidential or no, but just kind of way too far. But I've seen you grow to be a leader. And I know, and I want to tell the teachers, you know, teamwork is very difficult. You know, you have to convince your other partners to buy into the idea that as a leader, you want to bring. So, but when you work together for one purpose and you're looking at the kids that are going through your classroom, I think having that goal and that purpose to improve the life of our kids and elementary is the foundation of our students moving forward to middle school and high school. So you're doing a tremendous job. I also want to congratulate Mrs. Petrosian. Thank you so much. You're an example of the dedicated work that all our teachers do. I've visited schools with some other trustees, and we have seen the incredible work that everybody does. So everybody does beyond the call of duty. There is a quote from Confucius that says, and I said it before, if you love what you do, there's no one day that you have worked in your life. So I think that pertains a lot to our teachers in our district and most of the people in this room. So thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you, Trustee Dybert.
Thank you. Okay, item 6A3, the Madera Minute, Superintendent Lyle.
So President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, here are some highlights from the last few weeks as we transition from such high honors to just some really great activities.
And we kickstart this Madera Minutes congratulating the Madera South High School Winter Percussion Ensemble for being crowned the South Valley Winter Arts Association Scholastic Regional A class champions. Their performance Tribal Effect secured this well-deserved victory. The members of the Madera Future Farmers of America celebrated their achievements at the California FFA State Leadership Conference in Sacramento. Members won several awards, including the State Stars in Reporting and Agribusiness and Proficiency in Landscape Installation and Goat Production. In other things, Solution Tree has recognized Nishimoto Elementary as a model professional learning community at work. The award is only given to a certain number of schools and districts in the U.S. and Canada. This achievement reflects the school's commitment to collaborative learning and student success. Madison Elementary students brought home third place after competing at the Madera Community College Math Tournament. The students competed against several other schools in Madera County. Congratulations to all of them. Elementary schools participated in the annual Battle of the Books contest, which featured several activities. Teams collaborated to answer questions about their reading quickly and accurately. The MUSD Mules Boys and Girls Flag Football Championships attracted a big crowd. Congratulations to all the winners. Madera South High School participated in the Every 15 Minutes program, a two-day initiative to encourage safer decision-making. The program includes a realistic simulation that highlights the dangers of impaired and distracted driving, conducted in partnership with local and state first responders. Madera Unified Student and Family Support Services had the first poverty simulation experience during the Support Staff Academy. Participants experienced in the daily struggles of the family and students we serve, navigating financial hardships, housing insecurity, and access to essential services.
It offers an opportunity to build empathy and also think about what's within our locus of control, meeting our families where they're at.
Okay, item number 6B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Ms. Elizondo.
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold a comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Seeing or hearing none, I close public hearing. Okay, item number 7, student board representative reports. I invite Julicia Cruz to present the Alternative Education Student Board Representative Report.
It appears as if she's not online, President Seibert. Yeah, so we'll go to the next.
Move forward. Okay, thank you. And I invite Eric Cortez to present the Monero High School Board Representative report.
Is this? Oh. Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the board. I will be presenting the Coyote column. Starting off with our VAPA, last month the Visual and Performing Arts VAPA program at our school hosted several exciting events. A jazz concert was held during lunch, giving students a fun break with live music. At the Sierra Cup Classic Indoor Competition at the Save Mart Center, the Color Guard team took first place, while the percussion team are in third place. Both teams worked hard and demonstrated incredible talents and teamwork to achieve those remarkable results. Overall, it was a month filled with success and memorable performances in the VAPA community. Next. So on March 24th, we held a graduate profile showcase for the seniors, like all throughout the district, and at Madera High, where students presented their achievements as part of a graduation requirement. During the event, future employers and community members judged whether each student should pass based on their presentation. The showcase provided an opportunity for students to demonstrate their readiness for post-graduation life. This was our first year doing the graduate profile, and it was an overall success with about only 5% of seniors failing to meet the necessary criteria. Next. So this past week, our theater class has been putting on their spring musical, Les Miserables. The cast has worked tirelessly to bring this iconic story to life on stage, showcasing impressive performances and dedication. The performances will continue throughout the week, giving more students the chance to enjoy this production. And I think this is still going on for next week, so if you want to watch it, please do. It's pretty great. PBIS. Please take a look at some of our recent data showing our growth compared to the last school year. We are proud to share that we have had a 37% discipline incident decrease. Additionally, our amount of Minga points awarded have had 348% increase. And please take a look at the bottom right corner if you have any further questions or would like to know anything else relating back to PBIS. Day of Understanding. Okay, this day was really emotional for many. Our school recently hosted a Day of Understanding event featuring motivational speaker Keith Hawkins. This event focused on promoting empathy, respect, and understanding among students. Keith Hawkins shared inspiring stories and encouraged everyone to embrace diversity and support one another. It was a moving experience that helps foster a positive and inclusive school environment. Students actively participated in discussions and activities that encouraged self-reflection and empathy. The event encouraged everyone to motivate others to create a more compassionate and welcoming community at school. I was surprised with how many people were actually crying there. Next. Athletics. The Coyotes won the Central Valley Diamond Classic preseason tournament with a 6-3 victory over Fowler. This win secured the championship title. The team showed great skill and determination throughout the tournament. In addition to the boys' baseball success, the girls' softball team recently celebrated their senior night. It was a memorable week for both teams, marking big achievements and special moments. Next. FCCLA member Lydia Vasquez, the MHS Region and Region 8 president, recently traveled to Sacramento to meet with state legislators alongside with other MHS FCCLA members. Ella Galindo competed at the Career Skills Challenge at Fresno City College, where she and the preschoolers had a fun and creative time. Their chapter is also currently hosting a shoe drive, collecting new and gently used shoes until May 30th. The shoes will be sent to underprivileged countries to support young entrepreneurs in making a living, and anyone can drop off shoes at the front office. Heard that, guys? Gotta drop those shoes off. All right, next, and our upcoming events. Please take a look at them. That is it. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Good. Okay, item number 6. Student board member information and report. Trustee Duque Martinez, invite you to share your report with the board.
Thank you. Good evening, buenas tardes, President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle, staff, and members of the public. I hope you all are doing well and maintaining good health. On March 31st, THS alternate Capri Adams and I had the pleasure of hosting our second student voice meeting of the school year. We welcomed a diverse group of student leaders into a space centered on support, inclusion, and open-minded conversation. To start the morning off, we engaged in a light, energizing activity designed to spark creative thinking, encourage collaboration, and share a few moments of laughter. We then transitioned into meaningful conversations focused on 3 key topics: campus climate updates, feedback on the graduate profile showcase, and the student trustee role for the upcoming school year. As mentioned in my previous report, Trustee Adams and I were eagerly looking forward to hearing from our student leaders' voices that play a crucial role in shaping new ideas and refining strategies that help enhance the student experience on campus. Within moments of opening the floor for discussion, our students went above and beyond expectations. They spoke honestly about their experiences, voiced insightful opinions, and offered thoughtful solutions to complex situations. One area that stood out most during our meeting was the topic of graduate profile feedback. Students expressed a deep sense of advocacy not only for themselves, but for their peers, as they shared their thoughts on how to better support student growth and well-being in today's educational environments. We are especially grateful that our student leaders felt comfortable enough to share personal experiences and provide genuine insight. They emphasized the importance of having a student-centered platform that reflects their perspectives and aspirations, especially when it comes to how the graduate profile is presented and implemented. Their input sparked an in-depth conversation and productive conversation, I would like to thank Superintendent Lyle for creating a space where students not only felt empowered to speak, but also know that they are being truly heard. The exchange of ideas during this meeting helped lay the foundation for more meaningful and inclusive development of the graduate profile, with the goal of supporting the diverse student body of Torres High School. That concludes my report. Thank you all for your time and continued support.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Duque Martinez. Trustee Cervantes Hernandez, invite you to share your report with the board.
Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and esteemed guests. I hope everybody is well this evening. As the year comes to an end, the past student listening sessions not only had good feedback, but had also evolutionary feedback, where we learned that the Spanish-speaking students would prefer more help with their translations in their classes and additional resources within those classes to aid them. Nevertheless, they emphasized that they felt supported by our staff and how it's been instrumental to them. The Alpha Gators recently came onto our campus to release their monarch butterflies at our pollinator meadow garden, which has been a year-long effort held by Ms. Howden and numerous members of our school community who have contributed to that pollinator project. An event that impacted many of the seniors and juniors was the Every 15 Minutes presentation, which displayed the consequences of drinking and driving. This event brought awareness to the prevalent dangers that young adults leaving high school are faced with. The Madera South hosted students had 6 students make the top 10 for the Barbara James Service Award at the State Leadership Conference. Additionally, paraprofessional Miss Salinas won the regional FFA Best Supporting Staff Award at the FFA State Conference. And I didn't include this in my board, but I do know her, and in everything that she's involved in, like for instance, academic decathlon, she goes above and beyond. She personally volunteers herself to go and practice with students one-on-one. So she's great, and she's very deserving of that award. Along with several students who took proficiency and star awards home, the Madera South percussion team also won first place at the SCC Indoor Sierra Cup competition. As the year has gone by, Madera South has been holding student senate meetings where we get to hear back from our students and receive feedback on various topics. We have had insightful feedback like having more student input on rallies and student-led activities, while also navigating how to improve our student engagement and sense of community.
Through these meetings, we have been able to get more student input and have their voices heard without fear of judgment or consequence. Lastly, the graduate showcase was a success with 97% of stallions passing. Both teachers and students showed out on showcase day and demonstrated stallion characteristics. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Fernandez. Item number 9, consent agenda, Ms. Elizondo.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
Now open the consent agenda for public comment. Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion, and second, when you make the motion. Trustees, have a motion?
Trustee
Trustee
Dybert,
Ahmad make a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
Trustee Dybert, I second that motion.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Ahmad and seconded by trustee Dybert to approve the consent agenda. There's one resolution in the consent agenda. Mrs. Zondo, would you please poll the board for the record?
Trustee Cervantes Hernandez,
Yes.
trustee Duca Martinez,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
You, Clerk Mendoza, would you like to help with our retirees?
Yes, thank you, President Seibert, for this opportunity to address this particular issue or on the item on the agenda. At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only to Madera Unified, but also for their service and commitment to Madera community. I'd like to mention Christina Hernandez, paraprofessional aide, special needs, will retire on June 6, 2025 after 35 years of service. Now, if you happen to see Ms. Hernandez out and about, thank her for her service, especially to the community of Madera. And I'll return this back to you, President Seibert, item 10A.
Okay, thank you, Clerk Mendoza. Information and reports, union time. At this time, I invite the president of the union to address the board, Mr. Holder.
Board President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, board members, Superintendent Lyle. I believe you're aware that last Friday, our MUTA elections chair Esquivel completed the most recent MUTA exec board election, and the current officers of the exec board were elected for a continuation of a 2-year term. So MUTA VP Kelly, our treasurer, Mrs. Sullivan, our secretary, Ms. Henderson, our 2 at-large reps, Mrs. Houghton and Mrs. Ragsdale, and myself will continue for another 2-year cycle. I have one last one, which is just a reminder that if you have not decided whether you are going to attend the April 30th school board dinner in Fresno, the RSVP is due next Friday. And if you are going, there's the little QR code, and I believe Mrs. Elizondo is aware that you have to do your little fancy stuff on your little hand computer and pick your dinner. And then I hope that as many of you as possible can attend the board dinner in Fresno on the 30th. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Holder.
Thank you.
Any other union presidents?
No, not at this time.
I'll be out of the country. Okay, item number 11, superintendent's time.
President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, I want to first start by saying if you're out of town and you've already RSVP'd, I'll take the ticket. I doubt I'll get it, but I'll. Mr. Holder, I want to congratulate you on your successful return to office. We don't always agree, and in fact, I know we probably won't agree on a lot, but I do always respect how respectful you are in representing your association and how professional you always present yourself to all of us. So we appreciate that greatly, and we look forward to working through things in the professional manner that we've come to know and expect and respect. So thank you. Congratulations. I also want to thank all of those who were responsible for Battle of the Books. Some of us got a chance to see it, but I want to be specific about thanking Director Guerriero and Coordinator Nino, all the district academic coaches, all the coaches at our school sites, and the library media technicians, and a great group of retirees that came out. There was so much support. Our kids were incredibly excited to wear their colors. They had so much pride to represent their schools. They ran around in an organized sense of chaos that was full of sportsmanship and enthusiasm. It was really fun. It was incredible to see and celebrate literacy and libraries. It just couldn't have been more positive. I also want to thank Torres High School Student Voice Meeting. I want to recognize that and thank Trustee Duque Martinez and Adams. They led a really well-organized meeting and a very full agenda. They do such a very professional job of putting that together. Our students shared a lot of concerns and some confusion about the graduate profile. And we discussed the whole concept of getting everybody above the line. It's not meant to sort and select students in any sort of top 10 kind of a way. It's to show that our students are ready to walk out into the adult world, that they're more ready than they have been in years past. It was a really great exchange, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to such thoughtful students. I'd also like to acknowledge our secondary school counselors who are embracing a very research-based set of practices through a 2-year professional development with Hatchings. These 3 schools have the 3 high schools and the 3 middle schools and our alt-eds have all gone through this together, and our 3 high schools are doing something a little bit unique. It was kind of a reach, and they were challenged by our presenters to do this, and they've accepted the challenge, and I'm really proud and impressed. So I want to thank them for building advisory committees, and those advisory committees include students, staff, families, and the counselors themselves to help calibrate the work they're doing to ensure they meet student needs. It's a very unique and innovative thing that they're engaging in. So I want to thank very specifically Ms. Cosgrove and Ms. Valdivia at Madera High. I want to thank very specifically Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Bonilla at Torres, and Mr. Steinmetz and Ms. Rodriguez at Madera South. They've all 3 teams have worked really closely to lead the strategic challenge in service and support. The data they're presenting is really powerful. I got to share a little bit of that in our last newsletter. There will be more as those advisories meet. It's really exciting to see. I'd also like to thank Torres High School Principal Rodriguez and Madera South Principal Steinmetz for the very difficult work they did to organize and support every 15 minutes. Now, the board is generally pretty aware of what that means, but it is a really challenging thing to organize. Our activities directors have done an amazing job. We have 3 really talented activities directors right now, and the 2, Mr. Speed and Mr. Cummings, worked really closely with their principals and the admin team and everybody else to organize every 15 minutes. It's a very impactful opportunity for students, families, and staff. And we want to thank our partners in law enforcement and in the community that help make this happen for our students. It means a lot. Also want to thank and acknowledge that Madera South's percussion ensemble traveled to the Save Mart Center to compete against several groups from up and down the state and up and down the valley. And it was their final competition of the year. I'm really proud to announce that they earned themselves a first place finish and into their competitive season as the Sierra Cup Classic Indoor Scholastic Regional A class champion. They've had a really great year. All three of our marching bands have really brought a lot of honors home to the district. Our students are doing incredible work in our visual and performing arts. This is one really good example. There's also a really great play that was mentioned by Eric in his presentation. If you get a chance to see Les Mis, I think it's pretty much sold out. They had to add a show because so many people want to see it. There's 50 students that are showcased in this, and the talent level is very powerful. I want to share really quickly with the board that I got to sit in a corner because I bought the last seat available for the first show. And I sat in the corner all by myself, and there were 3 Torres actors who didn't know who I was, and they were just having to chat amongst themselves about how impressed they were with the Madera High School staff. And they were talking about how impressed they were with the Madera South staff and how impressed they were with all these actors and all these musicals and all of the costumes. They were going on and on about the opportunity that Madera kids get, and that's the language they used. It was really cool to hear kids talk about these are actors from Torres, and they were speaking very specifically about the quality and they know what they're talking about. They live this, right? This is a passion for them. And they got a chance to talk to each other, and I got to ear hustle and hear it all as they talked about what Madera kids get to do. And it was really a different kind of conversation than what I might have expected, but it was super supportive of the other 2 schools. They were there to be supportive. It was just really, I felt like a very lucky fly on the wall to hear that. I wish you could have heard it. I also want to share that Madera South just had an unbelievable weekend of honors at the California State FFA convention in Sacramento. We're not going to go into all those details because we'll honor more formally here coming up in the future, but suffice it to say that Sacramento seemed like they hosted the Madera FFA convention. Kind of how it went. And then lastly, I want to thank Trustee Salazar for her notes. They're really informative. I've been looking at them here, glancing at them from some learning opportunities that she and Clerk Mendoza went to at CABE. And I appreciate the fact that they're typed up and organized. That was very thoughtful and appreciated. So thank you. Yeah. I didn't know these are like the final ones, right? So we have a PAC meeting coming up at 6 p.m. Tomorrow. CVEC has a legislative luncheon this Thursday on April 10th at Madera County Superintendent of Schools, hosted by Dr. Massetti. RSVPs have been made for our 3 board members attending. We've also extended an opportunity to both Ball and Frost to go on a tour of MTech. They have not yet responded, but we will see. We have a district safety committee meeting also on Thursday, the 10th at 5 p.m. Check your calendars for that. Washington will have its Calenda and Mini Galaguetza parade this Friday. The celebration will commence at 5:15. You are all invited to attend. We'll march around the community and make noise. It's a lot of fun. We had a great time doing it last year. Madera Unified will have its spring break. Yay. This next week from April 14th to Friday the 18th, schools and the district office will be closed. And we will have a DLAG meeting on Monday, April 21st at 6 p.m. And on the cultural calendar, we're celebrating Arab American Heritage Month, celebrated in April. It honors the rich cultural heritage and contributions of Arab Americans here in the U.S. It's the first time to recognize it is a time to recognize diverse backgrounds, traditions, and experiences of Arab Americans who trace their roots to the 22 Arab countries in the Middle East and North Africa. And also, this is Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day will be observed on April 24th. Each April 24th every year to honor the memory of the 1.5 million Armenians who lost their lives during the Armenian Genocide of 1915. The day serves as a solemn reminder of the atrocities committed and the resilience of the Armenian people who happen to be our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Okay, number 13, miscellaneous board advisory committee updates. As we move into advisory committee and board member updates, I invite trustees to briefly share their highlights from any committee meetings you've attended over the past couple of weeks. These 8 updates should share a summary form to help keep the full board and public informed about the work of our advisory committees and district initiatives. When sharing your updates, please include the date and name of the committee meeting, main topics or issues discussed, important takeaways or actions items, any next steps or upcoming meeting dates if applicable. Let's keep our updates concise and focused on informing the border router group. Okay. Inviting trustees at this time, if they have any reports.
I guess I'll go first. Okay, so on March 31st, I attended the DLAC committee meeting, and one of the topics that was discussed was, or the topic that we discussed was goal number 4, which deals with maximizing student achievement. And the parents had some really good, great input to share and suggestions as well. One of the suggestions was from the parents at DLAC was hiring a roving professional. So a paraprofessional to come around to the classrooms to do a small group in the classroom with students who need extra work. And it seems like Director Sissel or Assistant Superintendent, I know it's a mouthful. Associate Superintendent, yes. Sissel has some ideas on that already, which she mentioned something about learning assistants coming around to assist our English learners, and especially because it's really critical that they reclassify between grades 3 to 5, because after that the reclassification exam changes and it gets progressively more difficult. So another suggestion was also increasing the ELD instructional minutes to help our kids, our ELs, improve their chances of passing the reclassification exam or meeting the criteria rather. And I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Nothing to report at this time.
Do you want me to call every one of you? Yeah, they're used to that, but sometimes, I wanted to shorten the meeting if some people didn't want to make reports, but I'll go ahead. If you want me to from now on, call each one of you. Okay, Trustee Amati, go ahead.
Nothing to report at this time, sorry.
I don't have anything to report, but actually it's not regarding the board advisory committees, but I just want to tell you that one of the therapy dogs, I saw him in action, actually in training. I went to Lowe's the other day and the trainer was there and she recognized me and said, "Hello, Trustee Dybert." And I said, "What are you doing here?" She says, "We're teaching him to socialize. So just to walk around and, see customers." So that was really neat to see. It was so sweet. She's still a puppy, I guess, considered a puppy. And I have my dog and they were trying to socialize with each other, but she was trying to really have her socialize with adults and other people. So that was really neat to see her. That's all I have.
Okay, Trustee Bleak.
Okay, Battle of the Books was held at John Wells Center. All the students, every student I talked to was so excited. And everything ran smoothly because the ladies that are in charge of it do a really good job. And the students read up to 20 books. I thought it was like 3 or 4 books, but they're supposed to read up to 20. I was shocked. Keith Hawkins presented the Day of Understanding to the Madera High School students. And there were a lot of tears and students showed that they cared for each other, which was really good to see because people that, usually wouldn't interact with each other were talking and that was really Good thing to see. The school site council meetings continue at all the schools. Ripperton Graduate Profile had all their students pass. So that was really good. Millview had their morning autism awareness on Friday. The parents appreciated the coffee, donuts, and muffins. And 1 out of every 36 students is diagnosed as autistic. So you learn a lot when you go early in the morning and help pour coffee. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Salazar.
For myself, I attended the GABIC conference. In the GABIC conference, it has a more bigger attendance than CSBA. And they're focusing most on the teachers, and they have also parent workshops. But the one thing that I took away was 2 things. The literacy, they about reclassification with our dual language students, and focusing on the literacy part, because they know overall that's where the holdback is it for them to reclassify. So they talked about different literacies. I thought Mendoza had those notes. But anyway, my thing that I took away the most is music and learning. It helps the student get more engaged. They kept on saying it'll help take them off of this as subject matter, as skills, behaviors. And I shared some notes with you, but social emotional culture. But also, I think the main thing was an engagement. And I kind of tested it with my grandsons this weekend, and it does help. It took them away from this, and they were just wanting to add more music than what they thought about it. And so it was engaging in that part. And then just one announcement, Matt Town is going robotics next week. They're going to be in Houston for the World Championship. The 600+ teams going to be, I think, a lot. And so if you can link on and you can listen, always, usually when they're playing, I'm doing yard work, so I can listen to it. But it's just awesome to hear our students, like the FFA students that just accomplished their accomplishments. So be proud that our students are going out there and competing, what they bring back from what they learn from our different teachers and our staff and what we provide for them. And that's just so exciting to see them show their best. And this is a young team as well.
They've
Thank
set
you.
some world records.
Yeah, they did. Thank you.
Trustee Mendoza.
Yes, thank you, President Seibert. I attended the Madera County School Board Association, and I just want to announce that Barbara Bigelow is now the board president. I held that for 4 years, actually, board president for Madera County School Board Association. And also, I also attended or part of the committee for the scholarships for students that are graduating. So I attended that, and there's some awards coming out. And also I attended Agabe. A lot of good information, a lot of engagement, instruction, good for the teachers, a lot to learn, always new stuff to be introduced. And I apologize, I didn't have my notes with me, but normally whenever I attend a conference, I type stuff out and I forward on to the trustees. But that's about it, President Seibert.
Thank you, Trustee Mendoza. I visited the King Hussein school site today, look at construction. Pretty amazing. How much is going on and how much organization they have to do to build that school. But they plan on being done by May 2026. And that'll give us time to get organized for opening of that school in August. Next, thank you, trustees. Okay, item number 13B, suggested future agenda item. Trustees, do you have any items you would like the board leadership to consider for a future board meeting?
So I do have something I'd like to suggest. I attended my daughter's parent-teacher conference this last week, and there was a survey after the conference, and there were some questions that were geared towards, I guess, social, emotional wellness and bullying and things of that nature, which I do appreciate. But I would also like to see something about Me2Be, asking parents how familiar they're with Me to Be, how confident they're with Me to Be, and if they're satisfied with the review that they received of the Me to Be report with their teacher at the parent-teacher conference. I think that's something that is also really important that if we can survey our parents and get some information. I do appreciate that I've started hearing more and more parents let me know that, yes, they are receiving reports and their teachers talking to them about that. But it still continues to be a concern of mine.
Trustee Cortez is talking about the Me to Be reports that we've been utilizing for the last several years, and we'll put something together to give you some information on that. I got mine in the mail. My wife and I we're getting ours through our parent conferences and through the mail. So we can do some work on that.
Do you want to report on that?
Sure. Yes, I certainly do get it in the mail. And but also I think it would be important to go to review that with the teacher. Also something that I forgot to mention is that the question was posed at the DLAC meeting this past week of how many parents were familiar with it, and nobody raised their hand. The question was posed a second time, and one parent raised their hand. So that's, that doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. So yes, if we can get some kind of survey out to our parents, yeah.
I think Mr. Rodriguez has just indicated that we have added the question at the end of the survey. And we want our parents to utilize it too. That's why we've sent it home now. We've heard you. And we do want our parents to utilize it. We want them to go over with their teacher. That requires attendance at a parent conference. And, we have some limitations as to how we can make that happen. We encourage parents and we hope they'll come and we make that available. We'll continue to try.
We've been talking about this a long time. So we need another report, or
We'll put together some information and I can share with both of you in agenda review. You can decide if you feel like it first should go in the newsletter and that, and then maybe we go from there.
all right, thank you. Anyone else have any future agenda items they'd like to see? Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to advanced planning. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for April 22nd. Item number 15, adjournment. 7:42.
President Seibert, I talked to